What's up everyone? Today I'm going to talk about my number 2 strategy for biohacking and anti-aging. Number 1 was cold showers. Number 2 is actually fasting. And intermittent fasting actually is something much more practical that I can integrate into my daily life. Therefore, I'm doing 16 hours of fasting, which is basically like if you eat your latest meal at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you can eat your next meal in a late breakfast. Actually, in English, it's very interesting. Did you know that the word breakfast means breaking the fast? Because in the night we are not eating when we're sleeping. So if you can actually postpone your breakfast, have a late breakfast, you can have amazing benefits from your daily routine. So why is it so important? There's a process called autophagy, and which is explored by a Japanese biologist. His name is Yoshinori Ohsumi, and he got 2016 Nobel Prize for medicine with his research. And he basically reveals that there are certain genes in our body that is responsible for renewing the cell structure, and there's an agent called lysosome. And in our cell, lysosomes actually recycle toxic waste, bacteria. They even kill bacteria and viruses and folded proteins, which is another important subject I'm going to talk about in a minute, and turn them into new material for new cells. For example, amino acids, fatty acids, and the body starts building new brain cells and new heart cells. And basically, it's a great anti-aging strategy. Maybe you heard about blue zones, areas on the world where people are having extensive long lives. In these blue zones, some research will tell us that they are spending 150 days per year in fasting stage. So as you know, many spiritual or religious traditions have fasting integrated in their traditions. For example, in Islam, we are fasting every month, once a month every year, in the Ramadan month. Actually, you don't have to do it according to your religious belief. You can even be an atheist, but scientifically it's proven that fasting in intervals is amazingly beneficial. Actually, I am doing a kind of experiment. I'm still fasting. It's 2 p.m. now, and I haven't eaten anything. I just got my bulletproof coffee, which I will talk tomorrow about. It's my number 3 strategy. And I'm kind of challenging my brain performance to deliver you this video at the moment. It's quite challenging, but it's I enjoy the procedure. So 150 days of fasting every year is great. You don't have to go into such extremes. Or another extreme is, for example, what we call dry fasting. I have done this as well. It's 4 days of fasting without any calories and not even water as well. Sounds scary, and even when I was doing it in the beginning, I was very skeptical. I was scared a little bit, but it was done. Like, it was perfectly done. I've done it with hundreds of other people. That was a part of spiritual practice. So because doctors and scientists will tell you, hey, if you don't drink water for 48 hours, your kidney function will fail and you will have big problems. It can even lead to death. So, but it wasn't like that. If you use your concentration of your mind, if you do it for a purpose, the body knows how to go through this process, and it's an amazing purification, amazing healing. Also, I practiced 7 days of fasting only with water, and that was also quite strong. Actually, on the 2nd day, my energy was dropped dramatically, but on the 3rd day, because the body starts renewing itself, some extra energy pops up in my body, and the rest of the fasting was easier than I imagined. So you don't have to go into these extremes. You can just do, for example, once a week, 24 hours fasting. Or if you're busy, if you're like, I don't know, you're training, you're an athlete, you're into gym, and you need to eat a lot of calories, you can actually limit the calorie intake in 8 hours. If you can do that, that would be amazing. That's what I'm doing almost every day. That, for example, if I'm eating my last meal at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I'm having a very late breakfast. For example, if I'm eating at 9, I'm eating my breakfast at 1 o'clock, and then it will be just eating in 8 hours, 16 hours of fasting. And I can eat as much as I want in these 8 hours. 3 meals, 3 full meals, a lot of calories, whatever I want to eat, and that's totally fine because your body will clean and purify all these things. The starvation will trigger the autophagy and your cells will start recycling this material and it will have amazing benefits. So what benefits are there? Basically, it's improving brain function, cardiovascular health, it's balancing the sugar level in the blood, so it's against it's a very good protection against type 2 diabetes. And research will tell you that it's against cancer as well. It's reducing the risk of cancer. It's basically a perfect remedy for anti-aging, longevity, and it's reducing inflammation in the body, therefore increasing also immune system and against all kind of bacteria and viruses. If you get sick, maybe it's a great strategy, just don't eat anything for 24 hours, and you can even do dry fasting because the water is also nurturing the bacteria in our body, and so it's better to reduce the intake when you're sick. It's like counterintuitive, right? Like I feel so weak, I need to eat something, but if you fast, your body will recover after some amount of time, like 8 hours, 12 hours, you will start feeling better. Another benefit is coming from Dr. Sachin Panda, who actually researches about circadian rhythms, and he will tell that if you stop eating 2 hours before sleeping, you will have a better sleep. It's going to be a very sound sleep, and because your body will start producing melatonin hormone prior to sleeping, and going to have a very deep sleep. I'm just checking my list if I missed something important. Of course, like there are crazy research, a lot of things that you can find online about the benefits of fasting or intermittent fasting. So what I want to focus, another important thing is, yes, these folded proteins, that is also a waste product of the cell. Folded protein is something that is not properly formed, and it's kind of something that needs to be recycled. It's a waste material, and if it's accumulating a lot, especially in the brain, it can cause Parkinson or Alzheimer's. And these lysosomes, triggered by starvation, triggered by autophagy, will start recycling these folded proteins as well, and it will have reduce your risk of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease. So something else that I need to tell you before I forget, actually something very much recommended is when you postpone your breakfast, you don't break the fast early in the morning. Instead, you can do what you can do. My number one strategy is to take a cold shower, and so it's a combined power to take the benefits of cold exposure and intermittent fasting. I feel amazing when I do that. You can end up bulletproof coffee that I will just explain on the tomorrow's video or next video. And you just need to be careful not to take more than 50 calories when you take bulletproof coffee. On top of everything, coffee and cold exposure, you can take a little exercise, like a 15 to 20 minutes of light exercise, like maybe some hatha yoga practice, sun salutations, or a little bit of Pilates. I don't know, whatever you prefer. Not too heavy exercise. A light exercise will add up to the benefits of intermittent fasting. You can do 10, 15, 20 minutes of meditation, how long you want to do, but minimum 10-15 minutes. And something that will trigger your brain, like a challenge for your brain could be learning a new language, learning a new musical instrument, thinking about something, making business plans, creativity, do some creative work. So your brain will also benefit from this intermittent fasting. So that's all what I'm going to share about, and this is my number 2 strategy for anti-aging and biohacking. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about bulletproof coffee. Until then, take care and enjoy your day.